we go. Toxic Toss Thursdays. All right. Let's see who is joining us today. Turn this down a little bit. Had to go back to Poison again, as they have just announced that they are headlining a tour 2018. Super excited about that. But anyways, welcome. This is Toxic Toss Thursdays, where we discuss things all in the natural aspect and really to help you know better and do better, right? So that you can kick those toxic chemicals, right? You can get them out of your life so your body can fully stay supported and so that you can simply do better. So today we have a great topic. Today we are talking about perfume, parfum, cologne, body spray, and if that is making you sick, and not just you, but literally making the individuals around you sick just from you wearing it, right? And this is something that totally freaked me out when I learned about this, because I was a big body spray fan. I mean, head to toe, would spray it on me before I left the house. So stick with me with it, because I was there with you. So before we start, we want to find out where everybody is at, right? As always. So give me a number one if you're somebody that loves perfume, right? You love perfume. You love the perfume. You love the cologne for the guys. Give me a number two if you're like me and you loved the body sprays, right? I know that I would go to the store back in the day. I'd go into the Bath and Body Works. I'd go into Victoria's Secrets when they had those deals. I don't know if they still have them because I'm not in there anymore looking for it, but they used to have those deals where you could buy like 6 lotions and sprays for like 20, 30 bucks. And man, I would love those deals. And I'd go in there and lather myself up from head to toe. So give me a number one if you love the perfume, cologne, a number two if you love the body sprays, and give me a number three if you're at where I'm at now and you think they stink, right? Maybe they're causing some problems. Maybe you just know better. Let's see where everybody's at. And again, judgment-free zone, right? The saying goes, when you know better, you do better. And it's true, right? I was right there with you guys. I used to love all of that stuff. So today we are talking about the toxic chemical fragrance. We're going back to fragrance. We're going to talk about a couple other ones as well, but going back to fragrance. So we talked about this just a few weeks ago in the smells, right? In the candles, the plug-ins, what are they called? The little scents and all of that, and how that could be having some harm on your body, right? Well, same thing goes when you're spraying it on your body and you're putting it on your body, right? So let's think about this. When you put anything on your skin, it only takes 26 seconds for it to start to enter, right? And this is our body's largest organ. So you're spraying your perfume, your body spray. And typically when we use that stuff, right, we're like all over ourselves, especially as girls. We're like, yeah, let's get it in our hair too. Got to smell good. We're going out. So we spray it all over 26 seconds and that's already entering, right? And what about the toxic chemicals, you guys? So fragrance, going back to that, those of you who aren't familiar, so fragrance is a toxic chemical. That's a loophole for hundreds of thousands of chemicals, right? Everything in there from formaldehyde, you name it, tons of carcinogenetics that just do nothing but harm the body. Why? That's their loophole, right? They don't want you to know what their secret ingredient is and what's making it smell so good, right? So they don't have to tell you, and they're just throwing whatever in there. And a lot of the times it's simply junk and it's going to affect your body negatively. So just like we talked about with the plug-ins, the Sensi's, the Glades, it's the same thing with your perfume, and your body spray, and your cologne too, right? So it's important for us to understand what actually is inside that ingredient, right? That fragrance. And a lot of times there's just, as we said, so many chemicals. So let's break it down just to a couple, right? Just a couple, and tell you why these ones are bad. So let's go into parabens. I know some of you have probably heard of parabens. It's pretty popular these days where people are saying we are paraben free, right? And there's a good reason to that. So parabens, they're commonly found in perfumes, and parabens are a synthetic preservative, right? So making it so it lasts longer. So the problem is that they are known to disrupt the endocrine system by interfering with both hormone production as well as releasing hormones in the body. body. So they are literally mimicking these hormones, causing all these problems, right? So that's just not good. You don't want synthetic things doing that inside your body, right? So that's one thing that can be found in there. Number two is synthetic muss. So synthetic muss, M-U-S-K-S. So the scary thing about synthetic muss is the fact that they have been found to build up in the body in things like body fat and even breast milk. So synthetic muss have also been found to cause endocrine disruption. So you just don't want that, right? You don't want your endocrine system being disrupted. And I need to move this a hair for my notes. Okay, next, phthalates. So phthalates, these are yet another synthetic preservative that holds cancer-promoting properties. So phthalates, they have been linked to damage caused to the liver, as well as the kidneys, the reproductive system. This can all be affected by phthalates. So what can you do, right? Well, safer alternatives. Number one, don't use the perfumes, the body sprays when you see they have the chemicals like this in them, right? If you see phthalates, synthetic muss, parabens, if you see the word fragrance, which can also be called perfume, they try to hide it, right? Because they don't want you to know what it is. But knowing that there's hundreds of thousands of chemicals, and those are just some in what they do, right? Disrupting your endocrine system, causing things like cancer. Do you really want to put that on your skin? Again, 26 seconds and it's entering, right? You don't want that. So what can you do? Well, safer alternatives, right? And I knew you guys probably know this one. What do I use? I use my Young Living oils. They are great as perfume and a safe, non-toxic perfume, right? Because they smell good. And with these, you can put them directly on your skin. Some you need to dilute. But again, this one, for instance, stress away. Just like the name says, keeping the stress away, right? Especially if you're a mom, you got little ones going on, you're working, craziness comes into your life. This is a great, safe alternative that smells good and has a good effect on your body, right? It's not going to do any of those bad things. None of that junk's in it. All it's going to do is good. So why would you not want to swap out something like this versus that? And there's tons of other ones you can do. You find the one that smells the best to you, works the best for your body, and you use it. Two of my other favorites are Joy and Orange. I absolutely love taking the two of these, mixing them together, putting them over my heart, putting them in this area of my neck, on my wrist. They just smell awesome. They're doing something good for my body, and they're non-toxic and safe, and I smell good. And don't get me wrong, people tell me I smell good all the time. Every time people give me hugs, they're like, it's got to be all your oils. And yes, it is, right? So getting something that is natural, safer, it's still a good scent, but it doesn't cause any damage to the body. Okay, let me flip this over. So we are now going to make a non-toxic body spray. So this is pretty awesome, right? And it's simple to do, because if you're someone like me who still wants to be able to spray yourself down, you can do it in a safe way. So all you need, couple things here, really easy. You want your glass spray bottle, right? This is just a spray bottle. And then you're going to pick your oil of choice. I'm actually going to use a really special one today. This is one of my absolute favorites per perfume. This is called Amaressence oil. You can only get this if you attend a Young Living beauty school, but it is awesome. It is the best smelling oil, so good for perfume. So I'm going to use this to make my body spray. And then you want your little funnel to be able to hook that on. Some witch hazel, distilled water, and that's it. Voila. So you have your witch hazel, your distilled water, and your oil of choice, and that's it. You can make a non-toxic body spray. And then, too, think about how much money this saves you, right? If you're doing it this way versus going and paying for those highly priced perfumes, colognes, body sprays, and then they're doing all that bad stuff to your body, right? This is a win-win. Okay, so what are we going to do? So you take your oil of choice, right? And you are just going to add about 10 or 15 drops into your spray bottle. So let's get this going here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We'll just do 10, 9, 10, depending on the oil. Some come out quicker, some come out a little slower, depending on the consistency, how thick it is. So we've added that in. And then we're just going to get 1/3 cup of our witch hazel. Losing my top here. So we're going to put that on, our little funnel top, get our witch hazel, and same thing, just 1/3. So going to pour this in. And again, it's great because you can make this at home and you can change out your smell, right? And you can do it based on what you think works best for your body. Maybe you're in a different mood, something's going on, and it's not going to cause you any problems, right? It's only going to help, and it could even start supporting your body depending on what oil you're using and why. Okay, so we've got our witch hazel, and then we're going to put in our distilled water. And I will post the recipe afterwards. We'll post this in the link because I just noticed I'm not following it perfectly, so I just changed 2 things up here. But that's it. So we have our distilled water, we have our witch hazel, we have our oil, and then you're just going to take a little label and you just write on your label what you're making, right? So we're just going to say body spray. And then that's it. You stick the label on your bottle and literally you're good to go, right? You have your non-toxic body spray. So this is a win-win, right? This is something that's good for your body. It's good for your pocketbook. I'm sure the men in your life would appreciate this versus you telling them to go out and to get that expensive but toxic perfume, right? So thank you guys for watching. Join me next week. So next Thursday, February 15th, we're going to be talking about deodorant, the hidden chemicals that are inside most conventional deodorants that are sold on the market, and how they could actually be causing you problems, right? They could be damaging one's body and leading to things later on in life that I'm sure you're just not going to want. So stay tuned for that so you can learn about what hidden chemicals are in deodorant, how to avoid them. We will also make a non-toxic deodorant, and I will show you some of the deodorants that I use that are safe. And of course, I mentioned these videos are open to the public now. You can follow me on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook. It's Amy Sunseri with Natural Wellness. I'll post the links for them below as well. And also, I want to know maybe what kind of scents you guys are using. If there's an oil, for those of you that do use the oils, what oils do you use to make non-toxic body sprays, perfumes? What are some scents you really prefer? Would love to hear from you. If you have any recipes, you can share, comment below. And thanks again for watching. Again, if there's anything you want to learn specifically, feel free to comment and we will dig deeper on that on our Toxic Thursdays. All right, guys, thanks again for watching. Again, this is Toxic Talks Thursdays, and we will see you next Thursday.